Recently, the Shippers Association said that 82% of Nigeria's exported agro-allied products are either seized or rejected in Europe. This stands as one of the challenges to boost exports and increasing trade numbers. Why do we have issues such as this? We have the President, African Cashew Alliance, Mr. Tola Fasheru, joining us for that conversation. Good morning, Mr. Fasheru. Good to have you.
Thank you so much, Sini. Thanks for
So
having me.
you're specifically into cashew. We know that, so on the continent. Let's start with your experience exporting cashew or dealing with the export business in the non-oil sector of Nigeria. Share with us your general experience.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, I've been in the sector. I've been a participant for the past 2 decades, over 2 decades. And it's been a beautiful experience. Of course, in Nigeria, as you are aware, export can be quite challenging, and that's where you have few people on that side of the continuum. You have more of the people importing. But over time, I think export has grown and expanded, and then, of course, you know, the commitment of people in that sector has increased. I mean, the government, the finance sector, you know, so we are not where we used to be. So clearly, a lot of improvement have occurred. Government also has realized the strategic importance of diversifying the economy away from oil, and so I mean, everybody is seeing non-oil export as a thing, and of course, agro export is a thing that, of course, we see as being very, very sustainable, apart from the mineral resources. So basically, it's been on an upward trajectory. I would not completely agree that, you know, because I believe we have improved.
So you don't think it's up to 82%?
You know, I doubt it.
Okay.
I doubt it. But of course, there are issues, and there are many issues, and there are reasons where there will be issues.
So what percent would you put it if you say 82 is not agreeable?
Well, it's difficult to put a figure.
Is it up to 50%? Is it below? Is it above 50%?
Well, maybe 40%, because a lot of.
So you think like 40% of our products exported are seized?
Maybe 40%, but definitely I don't think I mean, it's a personal opinion, because of course you have a lot of the agencies that are working day and night. I mean, NAFDAC is there. I mean, the quarantine service is there. The federal produce is there. The Nigerian Export Promotion Council, they are working.
But even the number of agencies is another complaint from exporters like you, that you have too many agencies, you pay too many taxes and levies, you have a lot of time wasted because of the bureaucracy, you know, to go through.
I agree with you. Definitely there are issues. Of course, the issues of the port, you know what we've gone through in the past 3-4 years. It's been terrible. So that in itself, I mean, the delays and all of that will have affected the status or the state of the commodities that we're talking about. So a number of them are, you know, they are can be attributable to the people who are doing it. I mean, the exporters themselves who wants to go through the shortcut measures. As you know, Nigerians, quite a lot of Nigerians like to go through shortcuts. And so you find us being rated poorly compared to even other African countries. I mean, even if you compare some of the items that we export compared to even Benin that is close by, because an average Nigerian wants to get rich very, very quickly. So these are issues. They're not taking their time to follow due process, you know, process in terms of even the planting itself, you know, and of course the post-harvest processes. You know, the drying, the packaging, the labeling, you know, so many things that we need to change our orientation in Nigeria. It's a all-encompassing thing. It's not just export. It's a Nigerian thing, which I believe, you know, some kind of reorientation will help us to address.
Yeah.
So Yes, please.
That brings to mind, I spoke to someone who is into popcorn, who sells popcorn. And she told me that she had to import the corn that she uses. And I still find that worrying because, I mean, what is wrong with our corn here? She said our corn doesn't have the right quality, and like you noted, following the process, the pre-planting, the post-harvest, you know, and I think that's sometimes we cause our problems for ourselves.
Ideally, I think so. And, you know, some of these things can be managed by having a strong private sector governance in each of these commodities. Every commodity you have in Nigeria could be a game changer for the economy, you know. I mean, if you look at a country like Vietnam, for instance, cashew is a game changer for them. I mean, they do about $3 billion yearly. So what do? Whatever they have, they put in their best in terms of the production, in terms of the yield, vis-a-vis even the land area that they have. A lot of these countries don't even have as much land area that we have, and they're able to get better yield from it. So right from the yield, and then, of course, the post-harvest handling, and then adding value, which changes the story entirely. Okay, so if Nigeria is, for instance, earning like $450 million, they are earning over $3 billion. Why? Okay, they're producing 300,000 tons. We are producing 270,000 tons. But you can see the wide gap in the revenue, you know. So, but I think it's like every commodity, you know. And I think government's already doing that, but maybe it's slow a bit because, you know, you see government now
Well,
coming
is it
up.
government or the private sector? I mean, we can't just put everything on the government. If the government provides infrastructure, if the government provides security, for instance, I mean, we should have people like you go into these businesses and make some money by providing, by boosting the economic GDP and all that.
Definitely. Like I said, we are not where we used to be. We are not where we used to be. Nigeria was producing maybe about 100,000 tons in 2011. We are doing 270,000 tons now. So there's been some improvement. Okay, you know, we were earning like $50 million. You know, about that time. Now we're earning about $450 million.
But what brought about the improvement? Is it that there's been development of the value chain, or is it just more people are going into the production, we have more farmers, or there's been, you know, better infrastructure?
Okay, let me say, for the cashew experience, basically, I was fortunate to be the president of Natural Cashew Association of Nigeria between 2011 and 2020, before I became the president of the African Cashew Alliance. And, you know, when I came in, I looked at the sector. The sector was really in a big mess. We were not able to sell all that we were producing. The farmers were crying, you know, and they were not paying attention to, because they were not earning as much as they should have. So they were not paying attention to the best practices in terms of the production, and in fact also in terms of the post-harvest handling. So what did we do? We looked at it. We told them, these are the things that you need to do. These are the best practice that you need to do, international best practices, to change the narrative, okay? We develop a strong association, a strong and viral association with people buying into it. You know, and that's very important, because people have to buy into it for a change to occur, for a transformation to occur. And then, of course, there's a network in the global market. You cannot be isolated. You stay in Nigeria and say you are marketing a particular product. You must network globally to see that, you know, your market have access. There's an understanding that the other people have about your product. Okay? So those are the things. Going over there, meeting our buyers, the major countries that we're selling to, having an understanding with them. In fact, we signed the MOU. I remember in 2013, we signed the MOU that we're going to sell so much, about 80,000, about a particular country out of the 100,000 we're producing, we're going to sell 80,000 to you. And they said, okay. And then we're going to improve. There has been a bad story. Okay, we're going to improve. We're going to get back to our farmers, tell them what to do. Our marketers, our exporters, tell them what to do. And then they call their bankers also to support them. And so before you knew it, when we got back, you were not drying your cashews well. You know, just leave it to dry by itself. No, it's not done. The quality will reduce. So we told them, you need to spread it well and in good time. We were using polypropylene bags. You know, that will not work. You will keep crying if you don't change it. You've got to use jute bags and see what the jute bags, you know, as it is. So that changed. The quality also improved. Then more acceptability. Today, it's changed. We sell all that we produce. The farmers are happy. The farmers are able to produce more. And that's why you can see the figure move. And there are a lot of people even going to plantations. But one thing also we did was to bring government on board. Okay? So we brought government on board. I remember Dr. Akumi Adesina at that time. We had a series of meetings. You know, the president, who was the Minister of Agriculture at that time, was the president of African Development Bank. We sat with him. This is it. He was surprised at some point that, cashew is a snack. But I said, this is what is happening in other countries. This is the country is handing over $3 billion. We can make it happen, you know. And then we began to work on it. You know, government understanding was there. So what I'm saying is everything, you cannot work in silos. Everybody, all the stakeholders, the international community, you know, and all of that. Of course, infrastructure. You know, infrastructure. I mean, definitely, Nigeria Export Promotion Council also, we brought them in. You know, I remember, I mean, Mr. Segun Awolowo, when he came in, you know, we opened it to him and said, wow. And he also gave his support.
So it sounds to me like you're challenging, I mean, you are in cashew.
Yes.
You're challenging maybe somebody to spearhead same movements in cocoa, in cassava, in yam.
Definitely.
I know we had issues like this with yam. The other time we tried to export yam.
Definitely. That's what we are saying. The narrative can be changed for all the commodities. For cashews now, what we are working now is to increase value addition. And I'm doing that. I'm on the African platform now, you know, discussing. Fortunately, you know, lately we had these cashew International Consultative Council. So we are working at the level of Africa now. I'm bringing the governments, various governments in Africa, to see the need for Africa to step up the game and then ensure that what they're producing, you know, locally, we are not just sending it raw, we are adding value, making things better, and then, of course, increasing our own appetite here so that we can eat what we are producing.
Exactly.
So those are the things.
And I think we need to
But it doesn't just happen.
It has to take a lot of individuals intentionally doing it.
Proactive.
I really wish that someone is doing this for tomatoes, because when you go to the north, I remember I was going from one state to the other, from Bauchi to Kaduna or something like that, and then on the road you can see tomatoes and pepper, you know, just out there, you know, because there's no preservation, there's no processing of it and all that. Yeah. We have a lot to do in Nigeria, and I know we'll get there. Thank you so much, Mr. Tola Fashere, President, African Cashew Alliance, for joining us this morning, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.